AI is changing, well, pretty much everything. And that definitely includes the purpose of school. So today, we're diving into a really bold new vision for what education could be in a world where you can find any information you want, but wisdom, that's a whole different story. All right, let's just jump right into the deep end with the biggest question on the table. I mean, if a machine can access all of human knowledge in a split second, what exactly are we having students do for 12 plus years? It's a question that really forces us to go back to square one and rethink everything.
And the answer? Well, it requires a huge shift in how we think. For centuries, school was all about filling our heads with knowledge. But now, knowledge is a commodity. It's everywhere. The new goal has to be something uniquely human, and that's judgment. And this isn't just about knowing facts. It's about knowing what to do with them, what's true, what's right, and what actually matters.
So let's unpack that a little bit. Why is this massive change happening right now? And what does it really mean for students, for teachers, and for the whole structure of school as we know it?
Think of it like this. Information today is like water from a tap. It's abundant, it's easy to get, but the ability to navigate that flood of information, to tell the difference between truth and noise, and then apply it with some wisdom, that is the new scarce resource. That's a skill that no machine can just replicate for us.
So if the goal is different, then school itself has to be different, right? And this is where a really powerful metaphor comes in. What if school stopped being a fact factory, and instead it became a fitness center for the mind, a cognitive gym?
And just think about that contrast for a second. At a gym, your motivation comes from inside. You're doing it for yourself. You can see your progress pretty clearly, and your training is holistic. It's about your whole body. School, on the other hand, so often runs on external pressure, grades and exams. Progress can feel really abstract, and learning is chopped up into all these separate subjects. So the big question becomes, why can't we make school feel more like that gym?
And this just nails the vision perfectly. A school becomes a place where you go to train your mind, to build up mental stamina and intellectual agility. A place where students learn to actually enjoy the challenge of hard thinking, to feel that same satisfaction of getting mentally stronger, just like you would lifting weights.
Okay, so how do we actually build this cognitive gym? What does the workout plan look like? Well, the key is to totally change what we learn, and, maybe more importantly, how we learn it. And it all starts by looking at the real world.
The approach is called phenomenon-oriented learning, and the idea is pretty straightforward. Instead of studying math in one classroom and history in another, you start with the big, complex, messy, real-world topic, a phenomenon, and you just pull in knowledge from every subject as you need it to figure it out.
Let's take a seemingly simple topic, like fog. Through this lens, fog becomes this amazing launchpad for a deep investigation. You're not just learning the physics of it, you're exploring its impact on traffic safety, its symbolism in art, its psychological effects, and then, boom, its strategic importance in modern drone warfare. All of a sudden, knowledge is connected, it's relevant, and frankly, it's just way more exciting.
So where does AI fit into our new cognitive gym? Is it the all-knowing instructor telling us exactly what reps to do? Well, the answer is a little more interesting than that.
In this model, AI isn't the trainer. Think of it as the most advanced, state-of-the-art piece of equipment in the gym. It's the tool that can help you design a personalized workout, manage all this complex information, and connect ideas from different fields. It makes this kind of deep, individualized learning possible for everybody. But, and this is a really big but, we have to be careful. AI can't become what this quote calls the electric bike of the brain. An e-bike gets you up the hill, no problem, but it doesn't make your legs any stronger. If we let AI do all the heavy mental lifting for us, our own cognitive muscles are just going to weaken. The struggle of thinking isn't a bug, it's the feature. It's how we build judgment in the first place.
And that is precisely why the human teacher becomes more critical than ever. Their role completely shifts. They're no longer just a dispenser of facts, they're an expert personal trainer for the mind. They're the coach who guides students, who moderates discussions, and who inspires them to push through that difficult but incredibly rewarding work of real thinking.
So if we're changing the exercises and the equipment in our cognitive gym, it just makes sense that we have to change how we measure progress too. The old system of grades and standardized tests, it's just not going to cut it.
You see, the old system was designed to sort and rank students. This new approach, it's all about demonstrating your personal growth. So instead of just getting a grade, a student builds a portfolio, a collection of their projects, their analyses, their creative work that actually shows what they can do and how they think.
Let's go back to our gym metaphor one last time. This new kind of assessment is like a scale.
It's a useful tool, yeah. It lets you check your progress, see how far you've come, but it doesn't define who you are. The number on the scale isn't your value as a person. It's just feedback. It's not the final judgment.
And this all leads to a really powerful conclusion. A school's main purpose should not be to act as a sorting machine for society. It needs to become what it was probably always meant to be, a space that is truly dedicated to thinking, to exploration, and to genuine human growth.
And that leaves us with one final, very challenging thought. When you boil it all down, the future of school isn't really going to be decided by AI or by some new teaching method. It's going to be decided by how we answer a much more fundamental question. Do we actually trust young people to be judgeful? Do we trust them to think for themselves, to wrestle with complex problems, and to develop the kind of judgment our future absolutely depends on?